Welcome, kind fellows and fair maidens. My name is Marquisio the Rogue. I'm starting a series called Rogue Theory. And it's just where I talk about different things that, theories that are part of life. My first theory is emotional decision making versus trusting your instincts. And kind of what those two things mean and how to differentiate them, because I think there's a big misconception that emotion and instinct are the same, or it's some feeling inside you that's telling you exactly what's right. So I looked up the definitions of both an instinct and an emotion. And an instinct is a natural or inherent aptitude, impulse, or capacity. Looked up what emotion is. Definition of emotion: a conscious mental reaction such as anger or fear, subjectively experienced as strong feeling, usually directed toward a specific object and typically accompanied by physiological and behavioral changes in the body. So when I think about these two things, I feel my understanding of what an instinct is more where your emotions and the logical side of you is telling you something even when it can't be explained, whereas an emotion is just like a quick reaction to something, like an internal reaction. Like a negative one is if somebody cuts you off in traffic, you might be like, some people get a lot more mad than others, but that triggers some emotion. But that's not really like an instinct. An instinct is like, wow, I really got to go do this right now because it's important and I have faith that it's a real thing. So, sometimes you see people who have, that they make the decisions based on emotion. And, you see it with a lot of things, including diet, with money, finances, and like budgeting or lack of budgeting. And you see that a lot of times with people's career, where they get very emotionally invested in whatever they're doing. I can give an example of how I screwed up in my past. I used to work at Verizon, so I was a phone salesman, and I essentially quit that job based on an emotion. I was so just frustrated with the overall day-to-day.
No.
And I really convinced myself that this was the right move, because I had other endeavors that I really wanted to follow, but it wasn't realistic, and my instincts were telling me this isn't where I'm going to be forever. But I still made an emotional decision to just go and quit without having something better that I could be doing, or even just another job, so I didn't put other people in my life that are relying on me in a bad situation. So, relinquishing control of yourself when you let emotions dictate your actions. So, I wrote that quick little quote down because essentially what it's saying is that when you make your decisions based on emotion and based on emotion only, you are completely out of control of yourself. There's a example in the movie The Matrix. The Matrix is one of my favorite movies of all time. A certain character in there, his name's Mouse in the movie. He designs the woman in the red dress. He tells Neo, his quote is, to deny your own impulses is denying the very thing that makes you human. And I have to say, as much as I love the movie, I really disagree with that line, because to me, what makes us human is the fact that we have logic. We can think about things. We have complexity with our emotions. And we have the ability to have that free will. We don't just go off of instinct. We don't just go off of emotion. We go off of thought as well. Like a dog or a cat, or whatever, a bug, they do things just because it's a quick reaction and it's all emotion. They don't have any way to rationalize what's going on inside of them. So to me, that's where the big difference is. An instinct is when your logic and emotion intersect to tell you whatever that event, person, or decision is a good one or a bad one. So this is pretty much what I was just talking about. We have this logic and we have emotion, and when we coincide the two, that's an instinct. But when it can't be explained, like if you meet somebody or you talk about somebody that one of your friends has met, and they tell you something along the lines of, I don't know what it is about that person, but there's something special about them, or the opposite, or I don't know how to explain it, but I just can't trust that person. You see that all the time. It's important to remember that emotions are great indicators, but terrible navigators. So don't let your emotions decide where you want to go in life, because if you do, you're always going to be out of control, and you're not going to be able to do the things that are going to push you forward in life. You're just going to be stagnant, doing the same thing over and over again, or living based on your comfort. Maybe if you want to lose a few pounds, which I know I do, it's a matter of building that consistency, going for a run, or going to the gym, doing some push-ups, doing some sit-ups when you don't even feel like it. Because if The Rock only went to the gym when he felt like it, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, or Jason Statham, or an Olympic athlete only went to, let's just say we have an Olympic sprinter, if they only trained when they felt like it, do you really think they'd be an Olympian? Or do you really think they'd be a bodybuilder? I don't think so. Another quote by Brian Koslow. He is the writer of Financial Habits books. To increase your effectiveness, make your emotions subordinate to your commitments. So make some commitments of what you're going to do. Set some goals. And then whatever your emotions are saying in that minute, remember why you decided to put that commitment on paper. Or you said you were going to be there for somebody. Just don't let your emotions decide for you. So, been good talking to you. I'm Marquisio the Rogue, sneaking out.
No pity for a coward.